Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got a new unboxing. This is one of Mezco's latest releases from the 112 Collective. This is Thor Ragnarok. Thor figure based off of the film Thor Ragnarok. We've already seen the Hulk Ragnarok figure, which was pretty impressive, and I think Thor is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Let's see here. What do we have as extras? Of course, we have the interchangeable hands, 2 alternate heads, some swords, sheaths with and without swords, shield, mace, and then a lightning effect, which should be kind of interesting to see how that all goes on him. So let's open up and show off what's inside, because that's really what you care about. See the packaging of everything. What's missing? We've got the hands there. We've got the 2 heads. We got the sheaths. We got the other sheaths. And the swords, I mean. No, we don't have the swords. Maybe the swords are probably going to be underneath. Of course, we got the mace and the shield. So let's actually go in and open up the figure. See where everything is inside. What I like to do, we always like to go and look at the stand, and yep, that's where we got the lightning effect. That's where we get the sword. So it's important to show these things off, because you never know what winds up where. So you can see right here, we've got the lightning effect and the swords underneath the figure. Swords look kind of cool. There's like a blue metallic style to them with the lines, and the lightning effect is fine. You know, kind of cool. It's like the usual weird lightning that they've got in a lot of the Mezco stuff, which is okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it. I think it's a weird accessory. I like the concept. I don't know if I necessarily like the execution. Sometimes it works, like the Flash, I think it worked pretty well. There we go. But it's really all about the figure, right? That's what we kind of want. So we've come to see. It's got a Thor Ragnarok. That logo is the base. It's a little hard to show off without dumping everything. But let's look at the figure. Alright, so far I'm kind of impressed with the figure. It looks pretty good. Oh, plastic stuck to my finger. There we go. Alright. There's some heft to the figure. I actually think this is a pretty solid one. This is a good release. Let's look at the overall. The cape goes around. This is kind of cool. It'd be nice to go back and actually look at the film and really compare it to the figure itself, like where does the cape attach. But let's do our test for movement. Very stiff ankles, but they have the general movement. Underneath the knee, high leg, there is a slight twist to it, and then the knee twists itself. Normal. Let's do the hip. We're going to do this hip because it's not covered by the cape. Normal movement for the hip. Maybe a little bit less so going up due to the outfit itself. Let's go with the wrist. Wrist has obviously normal movement that we'd expect. Elbow. Got the double joint. Normal movement. Arm. Normal movement. And then the head, normal movement, really solid. Alright, details on this figure are fantastic. This is a really, really, really solid figure. I mean, looking at the legs, first we got, of course, boots with treads. I always like that they do this with their figures. It's a small detail, but an excellent detail. We have alien writing down the side. We've seen this on in the films and the figure, or in the films, so that looks really, really nice. Of course, the shoulder. All the alien markings there. I like, we've got the details of like the shin guard that doesn't match the other side and kind of goes around. Of course, the cape is nice, a little flimsy of a fabric, but it's nice, and I'm kind of a little afraid that's going to easily tear off the side as well. You can see it's just held on by a stitch. We got the graffiti on the side, the alien markings. It's a really, really nice, well-detailed figure, and I think it goes up to the face. You can see the face. It does look like Hemsworth. I mean, you got kind of that marking on the side. I noticed this in the film, that his hair has these slight markings, which are pretty cool. The head here, it looks really nice. Great detail on it. Great coloring to it. And, of course, the beard actually looks really decent as well. And it's got that, like, serious face to him. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of the serious face. This works really well because it fits the character. We also have depth of the armor. It doesn't look like the armor pops off. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like it pops off, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that it wouldn't pop off because you wouldn't be able to get the cape. Whoops, you wouldn't be able to get the cape off. But like everything, it's just really, really good detail of the figure. I think this is just solid, solid, solid can be. All right, so let's see what we have as far as extras. Let's go with. All right, so this is the lightning eyes. Lightning eyes is decent. I don't think it's as solid as it could be. You know, they kind of get the effect down, but it's not quite as pronounced as I would hope. I'm sure with maybe some photography and post-production, it could look really cool, and maybe with the lightning it would look really cool, but on its own, it's really, really subtle. So maybe not quite as pronounced as I would hope. So it doesn't quite stand out, which is fine, but the other is it also kind of just makes it look like it's kind of colored eyes for the head. So there's not a huge thing to it. So the color eyes, the lightning eyes, whatever you want to call it, is kind of eh. Alright. This is the bigger one. The helmeted Thor. Alright, this is actually kind of impressive because we've got the actual helmet that moves. And it goes in really well. And then you got the red marks on his eyes, and he just looks pissed like he's about to fight. So that's really, really nice head. I think out of the three, it's one of the nicer head. It's the nicest of the three. I really kind of dig it. As far as extras, we have the shield. Again, looks like a nice replica of what was in the film. With this, as far as holding, might be a little bit pain to get it on the figure and the arms, but nice addition. Nice piece. And then we've got the mace, which is decent. I like the handle. The handle's got some, it has like a nice groove to it. And the red and the silver looks really nice as well. A little weathered, little damage. Looks like it's been used. It's not nice and clean. So that's a pretty solid item. And we've got the swords, which I guess goes right here. Yeah. So there's like a little slot in the back you can go and put the swords on like this. The swords with the swords gone, the holder with the swords gone, it's a solid top, which I don't like. That's actually kind of bad. It's just a flimsy piece of plastic that's closed off at the top, so it doesn't even look like there were swords in there. It just looks like a weird X on his back. Now compare that to this one that has the swords on it. There we go. And sticking out like that. That looks obviously much better either way on the back like that or just sticking out. The other just kind of, it doesn't look good. I'm not a fan of the not sorted one. But thankfully the hole isn't too noticeable, so you could just kind of put the strap on the back and cover it up. So overall, like, then there's 4 hands. I'm pretty solid on this one. It's like really nice detail. I think the figure's pretty solid. There's a little bit of fabric onto it, some different types of fabric. The leg here is very different than we normally get for this type of figure. And then, of course, you've got kind of the loincloth, I guess you want to call it here. And that's all very different than the shirt that's underneath. This fabric... It might be the same fabric. Okay, it might be the same fabric, but it's different than, say, like the spandex that we get from other stuff. So there's nice uses of fabrics on this. It's obviously different than this plastic that's on as far as armor, and then there's a different type of fabric that runs around the top. That's a different. Yeah, this is a really solid figure. It's just a really nice figure. Overall, catches a lot of stuff. As I said, there's different fabric here. Than here in this. Just a nice mix overall. Really well done. I think this is a solid figure from Mezco 112. You can go get this now. We'll have some links. Hopefully you can purchase it. Some might be affiliate links, just to warn you. As always, if you're into Mezco, if you're into 112, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep playing with your toys, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.